today's rapidly evolving world, the urgency of climate change solution has never been greater, and it's most important to reduce the burden on our landfills and has become a paramount to preserve our planet. Today's Sambhashana is truly privileged to have one such inspiring personality who will be talking about environmental aspects and waste management. He is setting an example and spreading the message that it's not very difficult to start simplest of simple things at our very home from our kitchens to reduce the landfills and make a world a better place for our future generation. Welcome to yet another inspiring edition of Changemakers. I am Neelima Somashekar, presenting Sambhashana with Mr. Vasuki Iyengar, a waste management consultant with 8+ years of experience in biodegradable waste management, a social enterprise since 2016, the founder of Soil and Health Solution, and has designed various cost-effective composting solutions. He serves as a trustee at Waste Impact Trust, which conducts Reimagine Waste Hackathon at Indian Institute of Science, a member of Solid Waste Management Roundtable since 2018. Mr. Vasuki is an engineering graduate in computer science with over 22+ years in IT industry, has worked both in US and in India. Welcome, Mr. Vasuki, to Sambhashana. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation to be on Sambhashana and to educate us on this very important and pressing need of kitchen composting, waste segregation, and many other aspects of sustainable living.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
Sir, even before we dwell into this topic, which is very dear to you, and of course, me, a very recently started composting, third or the fourth batch of composting at home. Before even going there, I'm very keen to know why, from a technical background, an IT professional, into this waste management.
Say 40 syndrome, where we kind of reach a point where we kind of start thinking what else to do in life and what better to do in life also. And while I learned a lot in the IT industry, particularly about problem solving and process improvement and all those things, and I was looking forward to working in the segment. And I'm from a village, and there used to be a garden around my home, and we used to grow both flowers as well as some of the papayas and coconut and other things. So when also a friend of mine called me on a one fine, very good day, saying that I am going to start working on garbage, and it's a big problem in an apartment where he was living in, and do you want to join me? And without knowing the head and tail of anything about the composting part, we just jumped in. We started a company, and we started working on community composting. In order to work confidently, and then also to explain other stakeholders, we should be composting at home. We have to lead by example. We should speak what we practice. And that's how I entered into home composting also. When I kind of try to correlate between my corporate life and what I am doing now, I think most of the logical thinking, problem solving, process, defining process, all that we do, even in whichever field we are in, and composting is also one such area where I am able to use all that I learned so far from education as well as the work experience.
Oh, that's nice. It always say that if there is that connect, I believe that along the rural connected rate shows up in your living and the way of living, and I believe in that. Okay.
Yes, it's the upbringing and the need for actually it brings happiness. I think when I talk about gardening or even composting and gardening together, what we talk about, if we spend that time, we will be happy, and then we are happy that we are diverting some waste going to the landfill. I think we also not only divert the waste that we generate, we also find happiness in taking the waste from your friend or relative and then diverting it from landfill also.
Very
So,
well said.
yeah.
Beautifully well said. I totally agree with you because to some extent, on the whatever I could do, I'm following those little steps what you're saying. Sir, now with this current scenario where we are talking about climate change, we're talking about landfills, we're talking about sustainable living, can you educate what are the pressing need of waste management begin from home?
Most of the time when I speak about waste management, we speak from a human health angle. The human health is deteriorating, and we go and visit the doctors more often than our parents did, or we go and our children are visiting doctors more often than we did. End of the day, it is the food that we eat has a higher amount of chemical residue if we bought it from outside. There is a concern around food without nutrients because they may be genetically modified or various other aspects. There is garbage that we put everything together and then throw is coming back to our own mouth as microplastic or in various form, and it is affecting our health. The last one is actually that we gotten used to convenience in life and also expecting that the cabbage or a cauliflower that we purchase shouldn't go bad even after 2 weeks of sitting in the refrigerator or 3 weeks. That made actually our the people that grow inject some of the pesticides and chemicals which affects our health. So I think instead of purchasing food from outside, we should try to grow even little bit, start small and then start adding more things so that we know that what we grew is chemical free and it is safe, and it brings lots and lots of happiness when we eat. And also there is happiness in sharing, whether you share more seeds that are generated, or you share the produce, or you prepare a dish and then you share it with your neighbors and friends. You feel proud of sharing. There is a saying that only those who can grow their own food and those who can actually cook and eat can survive in the future.
Sir, thank you so much for beautifully putting. I know that this is repetitive, but then it's so important for listening this again and again for the larger benefit. A lot of people these days buy a lot of stuff from outside. What are the little lifestyle changes that you can adapt to get into the segregation of waste? Where do you start from? As a human being, I'm living on this planet, and where do I begin with this waste management from home?
Absolutely. I think for every citizen who walks into our solid waste management school, we have a school in HSR layout near BDA complex. And the first thing we talk about is segregation of waste, the importance. When we segregate our kitchen waste, it's about 60 to 65%, and that's a resource and it's not a waste. And it can be converted into this beautiful black gold called compost that can be used to grow our own safe vegetables. The second one is the dry waste, which is the paper, plastic, metal, glass, which is 30 to 35%, and it needs to be clean and dry so that it gets recycled.
Yeah.
And that is the bare minimum thing, because I feel responsible for the waste that I generate. My waste is my responsibility. Yes. And then there is a third category, which is the reject waste, which is something that has come in contact with human fluids, and it can be about 5 to 10%. And there are alternatives for those also, but at the same time, that 5 and 10% is what should be handed over from a home, rather than handing over the 100% of the garbage that you generate. When you segregate, then you can actually take care of the 60 to 65% of kitchen waste at home. Make sure that you drop off the clean and dry waste of 30 to 35% in a dry waste collection center. In Bangalore, we have 120 dry waste collection center. It takes that few extra steps to take that waste once in 15 days and go and drop it off so that it gets recycled, or it is actually used as a fuel in cement factory, cement kiln as well. So this is a in order to do this, we need to start feeling that my waste is my responsibility. Then we will find a location where we can actually take it to, because the dry waste collection center may not be there in every city, but there are kabadiwalas, there are informal sector people who
Yes.
can divert the waste from going to the landfill. And if you get connected to the network of people in every city who are doing this work, they will give you the connect where to take it.
Absolutely. I really like what you said, my waste is my waste. It's a very strong message, for Ivaga, the way we are living our lifestyle and the way we are going the things, this message is so important, saying that what I'm generating, I'm responsible. Sir, even though what this is out of my personal experience, I'm just asking you. Like the other day when I went, because I also carry my own bottles to drink water wherever I carry my cloth bags wherever I go. I'm talking about the other person. The other day I went to buy eggs and I took my own bag in there. And when I said, give me the eggs in my own bag, they refused to say it might break, and they insisted that they put it in a plastic cover, and I get it. Then the other thing what I wanted to ask you is how to deal with this problem. Second thing, when I go to buy groceries, everywhere I can't take my liter of dabbas and then take and go. I'm like, in this kind of a situation, how can we be mindful about reducing plastics? I have this question and I wanted to ask you.
I think I go with this concept of known risk and unknown risk, and not to overwhelm ourselves with the intent to kind of reduce, and then we term the word low waste living rather than a zero waste living. But if you happen to generate some plastic, but make sure that it is clean and dry, because there are lots of people who order Swiggy and Zomato, that kind of a thing. But make sure that you can wash it as though it's a dish at home, and then drop it off at a recycling center. But if you really want to reduce the amount of waste, plastic waste that we generate, there is option for a zero packaging store, Adrish, in JP Nagar. There are people who go to Adrish store and buy package-free, groceries. At the same time, I think there are lots of ಕಿರಾಣಿ ಅಂಗಡಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಕಿರಾಣಿ ಅಂಗಡಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರುವಂತಹ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇನ್ನೂ ಇದೆ. But it is an effort. And that is where I was actually saying that, you have to take a few steps to make it happen. But at the same time, don't overwhelm yourself. Take one step at a time, and you will be able to achieve that.
No, I totally agree, because for me it was like this was out of my personal experience that I asked you. See, there are places where I go to buy my ghee and oil, I go with my own cans and then I buy. But there are places like, for example, for every small little things, like you buy mustard or you buy those small little things, you can't carry your own dabba and then go. These are all, practical things that I had this doubt. So that is the reason I thought, and maybe this will help others as well. That is why that was the intention of asking. Sir, I found another interesting thing that following your pages sometime back when something called zero waste wedding. I did not, only later after connecting you on the social media, I just thought you were the man behind it. Can you just throw some light about what is this zero waste wedding, and what are the things that went into organizing this wedding?
I have attended a few zero waste weddings before. One is our Vani Murthy, Worm Rani's son's wedding. And prior to that, there is Dr. Meenakshi Bharat. She's a gynecologist, and one who has, I think, had about 4 or 5 weddings. She made sure it is zero waste wedding. I'm inspired by them. And recently, when Anupama Harish, a dear friend from Sadashiv Nagar, called me and said, right after her son's marriage is fixed, the first person she calls is me, tells me that, I would like to make sure that it is the, low waste wedding. And that's how we started. We planned. There is a lot of planning that is required prior to the wedding. There is a planning during the wedding execution, and then we need to also make sure that we talk about it on social media so that
Yes.
more people get aware and also believe that it is possible.
It's
And it is
possible.
definitely possible when we actually seek help, delegate the work, and engage the right caterer, right wedding hall, and also be strong, and then say, this is how I want the wedding to be. What I have seen recently is there are many brides. The number of brides who call me is more than the bridegroom. Uh, Brides who are
Okay.
actually calling and saying that I want my wedding to be low waste wedding. And we did, two of those kind of weddings also. Later, this was special because the two mothers, one, the mother of the bride and mother of the bridegroom, wanted to make it happen, zero waste. And
Mhm.
there were murmurs.
Mhm.
You may face some challenges during the wedding, but
Mhm.
they stood firm and said it. There is a larger uh, idea. If we trash the planet, no God will actually excuse or forgive us because the trash will actually remain on the planet for a very, very long time, even after we go away. And that's a very noble thought. And
Yes.
we could make it happen.
Yes, sir. Sir, you have a school that you set for waste management in HSR. Could you share some details how people can come in, or what is the kind of a setup that you have at the school?
Sachagraha Kalika Kendra is a solid waste management school that was set up 4.5 years ago,
Mhm.
and it was made possible when a set of citizens from HSR Citizen Forum
Mhm.
approached the MLA, of Bomanali constituency, and also the garbage contractor became part of the whole setup, and also solid waste management roundtable where I am a member and Dr. Shanti Tumala, we have Sandhya Narayan, and we are all practitioners. And we, thought that instead of we traveling, which we do, we travel to every corner of Bangalore to spread the awareness. If we have a school in a park and citizens across the city, across the state, across India, and then across the world visit this solid waste management school to learn best practices in solid waste management. And HSR layout, it has been a for one of the examples, shining example for best practices year over year. And decentralization of waste management is the mantra.
Okay.
If if waste is managed at your home, waste need not travel 25 kilometers away to
Mhm.
the landfill. And
Okay.
if we manage it on your own street, we have a concept called street level composting or lane composting. It is good. If we cannot do it at the street, but we should be doing it within the ward and nothing goes outside the ward, because what right do we have actually to dump our waste in villages who are up in arms and they have realized the disadvantages and the inconveniences that it causes when they accept a city's waste in their village, and it kind of makes living in their village difficult. We don't have a right to uh, throw our waste in somebody else's land. So the Kalika Kendra, we have four parts. There is a home composting center. There is a community composting where apartments, villa properties, organizations, institutions can learn how to compost within the compound wall of the organization or the apartment. Then there is a community garden where we use the compost to grow chemical-free, safe vegetables. And it is a community-driven initiative so that the HSR citizen members and volunteers from across the city come there to work. And then finally, we have two beautiful cows, Gujarat Gir native cows, and their cow dung helps us process 600 kg of kitchen waste that is collected from the neighborhood. We also have a vermicomposting tanks, and we generate compost and we sell it. And that compost is utilized within the park as well as by the residents and across the city.
Sir, thank you so much for sharing the details. Can anyone come to the school, or what is it? Is there a fees that someone has to pay to be a part of the school, or what is it like?
So both HSR Citizen Forum and Solid Waste Management Roundtable are trusts which are running this, Kalika Kendra, and it is open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's Swachagraha Kalika Kendra. It's on Google Map, and they can actually find it. They can call one of us, either me. My phone number is actually on my website, which is soilandhealth.in. And also they can send an email to info@swmrt.com to book their visit. And maximum we take 50 people per visit. And we show a tour. We provide a experiential learning. We provide a hands-on training. So the people who visit can harvest the compost from a community composter, sieve it, you mix it with soil and sow some seeds and saplings and try to grow their food. And they can come on every weekend. We run a volunteers day. They can come and participate as well.
To have this tour, if someone has to pay something, or
there is a donation box and a feedback book. The donation is voluntary for citizens groups and schools and colleges, whereas for corporate companies we charge an amount.
What is the minimum batch size that you look forward?
50 volunteers.
Okay, it's 50.
50. Yeah. We actually had visitors from different countries, different states, and different cities visit this place. Also, it is an education center for municipalities and urban local bodies to visit and learn and replicate the same in their respective places.
We've come to the end of our conversation. Sir, is there something that you would like to add, or something that we missed discussing? Is there something you would like to add here before we go to the demo and the rapid fire section?
Sure. I think we need to allocate some time for a social cause, and it is possible. It can infuse positive energy in you. It can have a good, impact on the at home as well as actually on the street. And sky is the limit, I think, when it comes to social media. Effective use of social media for this positive message is absolutely good. I hear people across the world tagging me on Instagram, where we all have become, heroes of hero and all leaders on Instagram. So it is a lot of happiness when someone tags you and say, I watched your video and I have started actually segregating and composting. That is a very nice thing to hear.
Sir, thank you so much for taking us through this and giving us immense knowledge about how we can, save our planet and how we can recycle waste at basic home. Now, moving on to the rapid fire round, could we start this, sir?
Yes.
Yes. What was the last movie that you watched?
I think Dangal.
Okay. And your constant support system back in family or in your friend circle, who would that one person be?
I think in family, it's my wife. who always stays with me. There's a friend, Shravan Siddhapurkar, who is always there, for me in many of the challenges that we face. I think it's been that way.
Nice. If we don't find Vasuki sir in the garden of yours, where else can we find Vasuki sir?
In Kalika Kendra, in Swachagraha Kalika Kendra, always.
Sir, if you want to change one thing about your life, if you want to change, what would that be?
The change has already happened.
That's nice. I know what you're hinting at. And a last final message that you would want to give to the people who are listening or to the citizens of our country?
We all actually can allocate some time for the social cause, and that need not be solid waste management. It can be, there are many opportunities that are available. When we indulge ourselves in social cause, there is no retiring, and it keeps you occupied. When we are occupied, I think it's a happy life. And I think idle mind is a devil's workshop, they say. So let's occupy ourselves with many such opportunities, and they are all around. I'm so happy that I found my passion in solid waste management. I think as my teammate Vani Murthy puts it across in SWMRT, we are in a very happy space, and let's continue. I think we can never stop talking about trash.
Yes.
All the time we can have keep talking about it, and want to know why someone don't want to manage their waste. We want to learn. I think when we learn about their reasons, we can make it better.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for this wonderful, beautiful message, and spending some time and educating us and giving us knowledge about how we can handle this problem, sitting at home. And before I could end, I would wanted to ask you, can I put down your contact details and your social media pages if people want to reach out to you?
Yes, my phone number is already on social media as well as on website. So it's absolutely okay. It so happened that when we empaneled ourselves with BBMP, my personal phone number was given, and I get a lot of calls and say, can you come and illinda kasa ಎತ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. I think there is a pleasure in answering those questions also.
Got it. But I kind of on your social media pages. So we'll try and put the social media pages. We'll do that, sir. Thank you very much. And we will go into our demo section right now.
Yeah. Hi, Nilima. So here is my small demo on some of the single-use disposables that we can avoid to reduce. And I'm going to turn the camera onto the other side. Okay. So that's a setup that we have. Our Vasu is a person who attended our skill development program at the solid waste management school. And till now, he has been helping me, and many more students are there. It's a need of the hour. The solid waste management, how to manage solid waste management at an apartment or in various organizations. So convenience has taken us to the place where we started using a lot of single-use disposables, and we seem to be generating more low-quality single-use disposables, and it's everywhere. It's in Raja Kaluve, it's in the river, it's in the lakes, and it's in the ocean. And it's important to say no to single-use disposable. And when we say refuse or when we say no, it means no. There is no point, saying that, okay, they just gave me the tea in a paper cup and I'm going to just drink it on this time alone. That will not be okay, because I think a billion people said what will one more paper cup will do, and that's how we have billions and billions of paper cups everywhere. So here is the paper cup, the fake one, which has a plastic layer, and it's hidden. If there was no plastic, it would not hold the hot beverages or cold beverages or anything for that matter. Please say no to single-use disposables. And then we have these uh, polypropylene bags, which are a big menace, and in every function, many people think it is a cloth bag, but it is not. It is plastic. If we kind of burn one of them as a sample, you will come to know that it is puffed plastic, or that's what it is made of. And the best thing is the cloth bag. We conducted a Chila Mela in Lal Bagh Flower Show and showcased the cloth bag, how one can make a cloth bag out of the old dupatta or a t-shirt, and then they can use it for another 10 more years instead of throwing the t-shirt out, because textile waste is humongous, and it's important that we go back to our traditional values, where we are our parents and grandparents tried to reuse these things. Then there is this whole debate about plastic cutlery versus steel one, and then there is a wooden one. And there are people who ask us that the wooden cutlery is better, but the amount of water used in making this wooden cutlery and the trees that are cut is a lot, and definitely it is a no. And the end of the day, best is the steel. And this is the food container that I am actually showing, where in case, don't use food containers, carry your own dabba. But if you used it, always clean it completely. Do not leave 50% food that you ordered in it. And there is no provision at the Kabadiwala shop or in dry waste collection center to clean these, the food containers. And there is a packaging on the gift boxes. We use this glittering packaging. Uh, First of all, if someone invites me, I go, and then I don't give any gift. If it is really, really important, then I may give some cash as a gift in an envelope, but never a gift wrapped in this glittering paper. So then you will always find me with the cutlery. This is the whole set that I carry everywhere that I go. There are plates, tumblers, spoons in it. And yesterday I was at Vidhan Sauda and Vikas Sauda. I was in Karnataka Pollution Control Board, and also weddings. And when I go to Swachagraha Kalika Kendra, everywhere in my backpack, you'll always find me with a backpack, and it is there. And you don't need to carry so many. If you would like to carry for yourself a spoon, a plate, and a tumbler will do. The box is more for getting any food from outside. I usually keep that one also, along with a mineral with my own water bottle. As students, we always carry these things, but once we are in a salaried job, as adults, we stop carrying our own water bottle, and it is important that we carry our own cutlery so that we can say no to single-use disposables. So this is about refuse and reduce of dry waste, so that we can actually try to reduce. I'll not go into the groceries packaging and other things, because if we say no to the four major ones, that is mineral water bottle, the coffee cups, the paper cups, the spoon, and then the straw. Why straw? Straw beda. That is our mantra, and not even the paper straw. There is no need for a straw to drink beverages, even including tender coconut. Without straw, no straw Nariel is a campaign, and we are proudly putting these pictures on social media and trying to see if many more will become aware of it. In many celebrations, we use balloons, and that is a big issue, and it's important. There is a petition by Beautiful Bharat. That's the they are doing no balloons, please, during even Independence Day, because those tricolor balloons were used, and it's a big issue. The last part, which is
Yes.
the waste that is from my home, the kitchen waste, which is a resource. It comprises of vegetable peels, fruit peels. There is the puja flowers. There's a little bit of rice that's from washing the vessels. Is something that can be converted into this beautiful black gold called compost. And when I talk about this beautiful black gold, people say it's going to be difficult. It is going to smell bad. Many concerns that people have. But if you follow the process of sandwich layering and in a container, and you follow the process, it will not smell bad. Here is a quick demo. So we are going to take a plastic container with 3 mm holes, and there are holes in the bottom, and also there are holes on the lid, and it's in a bottom plate. So you can take a old bucket and make it happen, or you can actually visit swachhagraha.in to find a vendor from whom you can purchase also. So in the container, in the bottom, we are going to add the crushed dry leaves, compost full.
Sir, do you sell crushed dry leaves? Because I saw your lot of your videos that you people crush dry leaves like anything.
It is available in Swachhagraha Kalika Kendra. Also, there is an initiative called Kora Compost in
Okay.
Kormangala third block, where it is available. Only
Mhm.
thing is that it is not going to be delivered to customers' home. They have to make an effort to carry a sack and come to these places and then purchase and take it home. So now you need to spread your kitchen waste. Make sure that any whole vegetables that you may have, cut it into smaller pieces and add it. Don't add a whole vegetable as is as a lump. Avoid lumps. And then you need to also avoid any cooked food which is rice block added as is. You can add cooked food, but you need to break the rice block into break it down and then add it. You have 10 chapatis, tear it and then spread it rather than adding it as a lump. And then you can actually cover it with equal proportion of again browns. And the browns are, there is cocoa peat, and we have actually our own compost that we are going to use. We can also buy some leaf compost from places, or in America and Europe there is perlite that people buy, or they buy vermicompost and they add it and cover the kitchen waste completely. That's a very important thing. And then cover it with some crushed dry leaves. Dry leaves are there everywhere actually. It's only thing is that we have to go down to the park and then remove any plastic that may be there and then collect it. Then close it and keep it in a rain protected place. And that can be below the solar tank, solar panel, or it can be below the water tank. And then also it can be in the balcony. And what do we do with the compost is what people ask. And here are the safe vegetables that from my kitchen garden. and there is ridge guard. There are a lot of okra and the brinjal, and there is lots and lots of cherry tomatoes. This is safe food. This is my garden will tell me what to cook for the day, and that is a very interesting thing, rather than actually the fridge telling you what to cook, or the vegetable vendor who comes actually telling you what to cook. So there
Okay,
is a lot of happiness in having this safe, chemical-free food every day.
that's beautiful. That's very nice. So thank you so much for giving us a detailed demo and telling us what to go inside the compost and what not to go into the compost.
Sure.